Okay, so I think we're set up. Sahiba, I'll leave it to
Yes.
you.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. Ms. Shaymaa, Shu, thanks for joining. On behalf of the GDJ, I'm personally thanks to you and today, especially to the whole feminine group. And we are here, joined and gathered to highlight the efforts and pay our gratitude to the feminine group for their efforts in the society. So, today in this session, we will discuss about your achievements, your efforts, your what happened in the past and what is the future you have seen in your career. So this may help our audience to get to know something clear and to find out their path clearly, how it could help to the audience for making their career clearly. So first of all, I would like that you introduce yourself. Yes, Ms. Shaima, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Saqiba, for having me on this event. I really appreciate it, and I hope to add value to the young women and the professional women who are pursuing their careers in IT. And this is maybe the reason I agreed to kind of join and support this initiative. So to introduce myself, my name is Shaymaa Alterkait. Currently, I'm a consultant at the Social Security in Kuwait,
Great.
and I'm a family member. I'm sorry, and I have four brothers and and a sister, so we're like quite a big family.
Mhm.
I grew up extremely passionate about technology, and I started my development when I was 13 years old, building my first website that I did for a client.
Great.
And this was early on when the internet was just created, the internet pages were created with Notepad. Like there was no IDE, there was no
Yeah.
compiler that would show you visually how it would look like. So until you've published it
Hmm.
or ran it on your server, you would then see the results. So it was quite a very different time.
Right.
um, yeah, and I continued my career path in technology. I studied software engineering in college and I started my own business, worked in private sector, and now in government. So this is it in a nutshell.
Yes. Great. Great to hear about you, Shaima. We will be explored and know more about you in detail. Yeah. Next, Ms. Chu, please introduce yourself.
Sure. First of all, thanks so much for having me. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to be able to share and connect with everyone. So a little bit about myself. I am a product designer at Google and on the YouTube ads team. So I currently lead the design of small business creators and kids experience on the YouTube ads team. Before joining Google, I led a small team of designers at Netgear, also
Mhm.
in the Bay Area, and had
Great.
helped several startups build a successful product experience. A little bit about my background. I was born and grew up in China. I studied and lived in Germany, started my first job as an architectural lighting designer in New York, and I made a
Great.
career shift to tech and product design a couple of years ago. I am now settled in the San Francisco Bay Area with my family. And with a love for simplicity, I just really enjoy building products that drive business goal at the same time empowering people in their everyday life. So on the outside of work, I'm really passionate about helping women, students, and also aspiring professionals in their path
Awesome.
towards product design and tech related careers. So yeah, nice meeting everyone.
Great to know you. More we will explore in this evening. So I warmly welcome to you to beautiful personalities, and we will explore more. We will know more about you. Before proceeding, let me introduce myself. My name is Sakiba Salman. I have pursued my career in software engineering and computer science. Uh, since 14 years, I am in the field of software engineering, proceeding the analysis and design of the application. Currently, I'm pursuing my career as a IT project management where I am leading the groups to develop the application, mobile and the web both. Beside the IT and the technology, I am also the mother of three kids, and also pursuing my personal life with these household and these things. Again, so merging the technology and the regular life, this is really a great mix, and it daily these things boost me to proceed further. I want to take them both parallel in my life. So proceeding the regular life and the technology. It's really a great mix, and every day it gives me a new experience to explore more. So today, in this evening, inshallah, I will get know more from your experiences, and hopefully the audience will get the great knowledge from your talks and discussion. So let's proceed. What you know generally, it's not specifically to you, so generally how you feel that, how you observe that in during this COVID area, uh, what is the impact of women in technology? Is there any impact of women to proceeding or pursuing in the tech sector? Do you feel that
In.
Yeah, are you
Yeah,
asking
just
someone specific or?
no, 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 it's general for now. Any one
Yeah,
of you
I mean,
can
go
give
ahead,
it.
Shu, and I'll
Yes.
okay, yeah, just some rough thoughts. I think first of all, as a woman, during this COVID era period, I think there is definitely unusual like how do I balance and the work and family? Because there's I have little kids like 2 year old at home. At the
Mm,
same time, I'm working from home this whole time, so there's a constant like trying to figure out okay as a mom and as a working professional, how do I keep the good balance and doing the
mm,
best on both sides? So that I think I'm still learning, but that is one thing I feel like kind of unique for probably a lot of women
mm,
is that okay, what's the boundary and how to give the best on both sides of work and life. On the other hand, I feel it's actually because of COVID, a lot of events actually became virtual. So it's actually making connections and networking actually easier than in the
mm.
past to some
Agree.
extent. So I actually got to join like some event, couple of events, and got connected with some amazing I think designers and also people working in the tech industries.
Mm.
So on that side, I guess it's the silver lining coming on top of this pandemic that actually make the human connections easier,
Great.
no matter
Yes.
where you live in the world.
Great.
I
Yes.
think also to add to what Shu mentioned, I can give a very different example that has happened in Kuwait, which I've noticed, and probably in different countries as well. During the pandemic, most of the public sector and even private sector entities started to take their services online. Some countries were in lockdown. Others were very limited in terms of how many people can go into different entities by appointments. So it was a bit challenging to get business done the normal or the usual way of going out and getting things done. So as companies and organizations started to take their businesses and their transactions and services online, it it started to become a threat to so many jobs, especially the non-technical ones and the
Yeah.
service-oriented jobs. And I think this pushed a lot of people, men and women, to kind of educate themselves on what, how to create an app, how to do something, how to use technology in general, how to create dashboards, how to do forms, and how to do simple tasks that are outside of their normal day-to-day job. So yes, definitely I've seen a spike where people wanted to learn technical skills, not necessarily become developers full time, but definitely become content creators or application designers or workflow designers, where they would kind of be involved in some sort of way with technology, learning technical skills. This is what I've really seen. But otherwise, I think women in Kuwait have always been interested in IT, and this is long before the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of showcasing their work and giving them that visibility, which we might lack in the region.
Yes, you're right. Same, we have seen these actually the challenges of COVID converted to the opportunity in that way. So this is the observation that whatever face people face as a challenge in the beginning, now at the end of 2 years, it's an opportunity for them. And really it benefits the people and community a lot to run long, and they can foresee the future. Whatever is the pandemic challenges, now it will be the future of their technology, how they will use, how they will run it, really lead the technology groups now. Okay, now we can begin with Ms. Shaymaa. Start with you. Just let us know that how did you get into the technology sector? How, what
Absolutely.
motivates you?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I was introduced to the first computer that came into our house, which my father um, brought in, and it was the Apple II PC.
Ah,
So it was the computer with the huge floppy disks, and I was very curious. And I think the way our parents raised us was to be curious and learn new things. It was something that, you know, they instilled in all of us. Um, that computer was the beginning of everything that I've been really excited about, because I've seen things come to life, whether it's a game or an animation, or um, at the time we didn't have internet on that computer specifically, but later on it was introduced. So as time and computers evolved, it just got me so more excited to create new things. And it was like a puzzle for me to kind of figure out, you know, I want to do this, how do I do that? And I think the way also my dad gave me some challenges of doing things that helped him in his work, whether I wanted to had to create a database or do something, small little applications. It was just super thrilling for me. And I think the internet was also another huge milestone to connect with people and be able to learn from others. I remember even as a kid, I used to pretend to be much older than I was so that
yes,
people would talk to me. They didn't know how old I was behind the screen, but you know, being engaged and sharing ideas and algorithms and discussing about topics at that age, it was super thrilling. And especially when you see the end result and it's being
exactly.
used by different people, and it was really exciting for me. And then I started to build projects for people in the family and do certain things. Uh,
Awesome.
so I always knew that this was it. This is what I wanted to do for my career. So that's how it started.
Great to know. Yes, Ms. Chu, please tell us about your motivation, how you are in the technology sector.
Sure. I guess my journey is not quite a straight line. It took quite some zigzag to actually for me to get into tech. Growing up as a kid, I always like loved art. I love music. I love people, nature. So I went to like architecture and lighting design before making my career transition to tech and product design. But back then, I enjoyed the creative side of the job. I feel like I started spending most of my days doing rendering simulations in front of a computer days and night. So, and it becomes kind of frustrating to me that I rarely get to see a project finish and then how people feel about it, how people interact with it, because sometimes construction can take 5 years or even longer. Um, so a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to, through a friend's recommendations, to build like a website for a startup company. And during that very first tech project, I really enjoyed the fast iterative process, and especially the part that I get to see how people actually use the product and be
Hmm.
able to tweak, adjust, and make it better. So I think since then I started making my past switch to the tech and product design industry. So that's kind of how I got into the tech sector.
That's great. Interesting, actually. It's interesting. The zigzags really added value to your selection for the technology, no doubt. Okay, yes, Miss Shaymaa, just tell me how you feel that women should be in the technology. What factor you want to highlight that motivate other women that they should choose the technology?
Well, I mean, there are many reasons to choose tech, but what I firmly believe in is um, to encourage women across STEM fields, whatever they're passionate about,
Mm.
they should, just follow their dreams, their passions, and explore. Whether it's a straightforward line, you like this, you want to do it, or even if it's a zigzag journey, as Shu mentioned, that's also super interesting because you get to explore so many different sides, the art
Yeah,
side or the science side or the math side of it. There's so many aspects to technology that, can get you involved in creating, whether it's a product or a software, even
yeah,
softwares are products, or a service, and you can play so many different roles today than it used to be. I mean, before, the computer scientists created everything A to Z on their own. They were just given a task and it was a mission, and they would go figure it out and build something.
yeah,
Today there are just so many roles in tech companies, and if you visit the largest tech companies, you'd find people who, I don't know, studied archaeology, but they work now in tech, or
yeah,
they focus on disability user experiences, so their focus is they studied something else. They studied probably occupational therapy, and now they're focused on making sure, that product is accessible for users who, whether they're blind or deaf or have any disability that, requires them to kind of be able to use that product. So working in tech is now part of our lives, and I think
yeah,
whoever's passionate about problem solving and creating, and even their creative side, artists,
yeah.
now there are so many calligraphy uh, artists that are using technology as if, they're graphic designers that are in the
Yes,
digital age. So I think the most important thing is to be really excited. You want to wake up every day and say, I'm looking forward to,
yes,
whatever challenge that I'm going to be faced today in tech, versus, oh my God, I hate my job. I don't want to do this. It's not the right
yeah,
career for me. So
yeah.
even if it's a zigzag, and even if it's you want to discover different options, it's always there. But I think with tech, because it changes so fast, and you have to kind of catch up and changes, and also be a self-learner, and this is probably in so many other fields, but in tech it's so much accessible right now because you have YouTube, you have the internet, you have so
Everything.
many channels to learn new technical skills. It's not as tough as it used to be. So I think that's probably my message to
Yeah,
everybody or anyone who's interested.
yeah. It's really an instigating and an encouraging point to get more women in tech. Yes, Miss Chu, please tell me what is your point of view that more women should be in tech. What is your point of motivation to them?
Yeah, first of all, I can't agree more what Shayma has just shared. I think, first of all, the opportunities is huge. Before I get into tech, even in the San Francisco Bay Area as a lighting designer, to find a job outside of the city is kind of hard because there are only a few, there a limited number of opportunities exist there. But when I get into tech, I started to realize tech is so much more than engineers, developers. It's actually, no matter what you feel passionate about, you can always basically find some role in the tech industry. For example, as a product designer or UX designer, I see my coworkers or friends coming from all different backgrounds, from psychology, from engineering, from graphic design, and architecture for sure. So it's a huge variety. I think as a woman, no matter what you feel passionate about, the chance that you can find a role in the tech is huge. So first part, I think is the opportunity. Second, I feel like it's probably the impact that because of the nature of tech and the digital products, no matter you're building an app or service, you can easily reach billions of people. It comes with the scalability with tech. Um, and no matter you're building something, solving a small problem of people's everyday life, or perhaps helping people be able to connect with each other easier, it has a huge potential to impact billions and billions of people's life. So that's the part also make me motivated and exciting about my job. And um, I think so. Those are the two sides that I think I have on top of my mind. Some reasons or factors to hopefully encourage more women get into tech.
Great. Yes, no doubt. Now the technology actually clear all the social challenges which few community of women faced to join uh, or to move forward into the technology. So these technologies nowadays actually remove their all challenges, the social challenges they are facing, which cannot be erased in many areas. And they wanted to get, they don't need to be get up, get out from home, and they no need to be see the environment where they are working on. They are their own boss. They can now start everything at their own choice. It's not only the versatility of the technology, actually they can create their own path to choose the tech area. They can choose their own approach by number of methodologies they can learn from, and after choosing their own approach they can prove they can get into that sea now. They can show how this approach can make the diversity, and how they can excel. Even there are trillion of ways that they can move forward now. It's only that they need a passion and motivation from the society or the community, like successful people like you, the presenters like you, who can motivate them, and then it's the game of next step. That's it. Okay, yes, Shaima, we are really interested. If you, how can women in the workplace make the difference nowadays? How they can make their mark in workplace? Because few
Oh, in
jobs,
so many ways to do that. I think women have are great at being empathetic. They're great at collaboration. There are
yeah,
so many soft skills that women have that can help kind of create a very collaborative environment. And I
yes,
think it comes naturally to them. It's in our genetics, I think. And I
yes,
think to build on your strengths is the best possible way to add value in any organization that you're in. Um, Maybe there are women different than others, but to identify, which female, for example, has the skills required to create a more user-friendly environment or a collaborative environment, and kind of encourage that and foster that behavior, um, can really help everybody work together. Uh, I think this is probably not a technical skill at all. It's just a matter of women using, instead of trying to be masculine and tough and
yeah,
aggressive and fight their way through the career path, use your strength. Uh, be the woman that you want to be.
yes,
It's not aggressive, as they say, when you're being firm and you know what you want and you're being decisive. That's a strength. It's a matter of just expressing that and being confident about it. Um, and yeah, that would be my message to all the women who are trying to do that.
yes, 100%. Yeah, that is really great. Their
Thank
skills,
you.
their soft skills, and sharpen that, and it makes them remarkable in any workplace. Uh, Yes, Miss Yu, please, you continue your point of view regarding same, how the women would be remarkable, what thing make them remarkable in the workplace.
Yeah, I think one, first of all, as a Asian woman growing up in the Eastern culture. When I first moved to America, I feel like I had a huge culture shock. Even though I studied in Germany, but the culture and value is very different in the environment where I was growing up. I was always taught there's an old saying. It's like the shot hits the bird that pokes its head out. So you're supposed to be try not to blend in, try not to like be different or stand up. However, the Western culture has a different saying, which is "quick you will, gas the grace." So I think with my like living in US for like many years now, it helps me think and reflect how to be more confident as a woman in the tech industry. I feel like I want to encourage other women to intentionally train our brain, no matter where you are growing up or what culture, what value you were surrounded by. Uh, Try to get out of your comfort zone little by little and speak up when you have the chance. Sit at the table, and I think which might transfer into some small actions, like sometimes stepping out of the comfort zone can sounds quite scary. But if you break that down into very small actions, like for example, speaking up more at meetings or hosting some local event, volunteer, don't feel shy to take compliment of your work, your achievements. I'm still working on it, to be honest, but I think as a woman, you should be proud of yourself and open to talk about how good you are at your job and help and share with others. So speak up is the first thing. I feel like that can help women, more women in the workplace to make their mark. The other side is don't slow down until you have to. This is inspired by a book called Lean In. Some of you might already read that. It's written by Sheryl Sandberg, the Facebook Chief Operating Officer. And I feel like when I read that book, I was basically just becoming a mom. So I have a lot of weird thoughts going on in my mind. Okay, does it mean how do I handle work? Like, should I slow down now? So one lesson I learned is try to stop worrying too much about the future so you can actually better focus on today, what's in your control. I feel really fortunate that I got to read this book when I was pregnant, and I learned that I don't have to slow down. I don't have to put the brake now because I'm still gonna be working, and I want to be the best part of myself at work. So instead, like lean in, keep your foot on the gas pedal, only slow down when you have to. It's kind of a mind shifting to me. It helps me realize as a woman, yes, we have a lot of things we need to deal with at life, but you don't have to live in the fear of what might be coming up. So
Yeah, agree.
instead, feel strong, motivated, and confident to push forward. I think yes, these are the two sides. Just some learnings from my personal experience, what might be able to help you make your mark in the workplace.
That's really great. I wanted to share my personal experience. There is one stereotype set that if a person already worked in the government sector and they have shifted to the private sector, the stereotype stopped other people that might be, they wouldn't be as efficient as the people in the private sector. This is a stereotype settled. So, two things you need to make available to mark yourself. First is your availability, and second, your inner confidence that you are good in that specific thing, which you can prove. And that's happened that in this efficient, in this speed up timeline, which I never faced earlier in the government sector. So my fear was maybe I couldn't make it. I break it just to make myself available for that time. So if you are available to the workplace at specific issue, at specific problem time, it will be make your remark. Yeah, that person is available. If the person is available, it means he can perform its best. So making your availability really being make your things remarkable at your workplace. Second, your fear, or you should be confident what you have, the qualities inside you have. It definitely magnify the workplace at any cost. This is how you have to perform your best in that workplace. So these stereotypes can be killed by these two things: making your availability high, and second, be confident for your properties, the qualities you have. That's it. You can be moved forward in any workplace. You can make mark yourself in any workplace. Okay, get to know more about the interesting thing. Yes, Miss Shaymaa, tell me, what is the best advice you get in your career? The best advice ever you get in your career.
The best advice that I got, just stay passionate, stay curious, and don't let anything get in your way. Yeah.
That's it. Yes, Miss Yu, please tell me, what is the best advice you get in your career?
Sure. I think the best advice I got is try to be a multiplier. A little background of that, there is a whole, I think, theory. There are four type of roles you can be. One is multiplier. Second is adders. Adders are basically talking about people who do a good job consistently.
Yeah.
In contrast, there's subtractor. Subtractor tend to be fall a bit behind, not be wreaking havoc on your business or on your profit, but yeah. And there's this another one called dividers. Basically, like have a collective negative effect on a team. Where I used to think, okay, adders are probably good or good enough, but I started to learn more. Okay, what does a multiplier mean? So it's that multiplier is actually a role that have a collective positive effect on the company. It's not only doing good, but also the one can help others, empower others, who like encourage other people to see like work hard because of their efforts. They're happy in their jobs, actively take steps to progress and grow. They seem to have a collective effect on the team, not only accomplish their own job, but pushing the group and the people around them feel like empowered and towards bigger goals. So I think that's one advice that kind of like a light bulb switch to me,
That's a
that
great
I want to
advice.
strive
Yeah,
to, yeah, be a
awesome, super.
multiplier, create opportunities for others.
Yeah, hopefully, surely. What factors motivates you every day? Every day. It's not only one day, definitely, which can excel your career. It's the stream of whole life. Every day, something motivates you. So, what is the best factor which motivates you every day? Yes, Shaima, if you can
For
share this.
me, for me, it's to leave a legacy, to be honest, and have great impact. One of the reasons I left the private sector and joined the government sector um, was because that recruiting person who I report to right now, the director general,
Hmm.
um, he was a believer. He still is.
Yeah,
And I think when somebody provides that kind of support and enables you to
yeah,
make the impact that you've always wanted to do, it's the right place to be. And we always complain the government and how slow it is and how things are a pain. And
yeah,
yeah, the private sector is the place to be. It is, yeah, it's definitely a great challenge. I mean, I had a nice run in that area, but to be able to make a difference in the government and see that change while I'm still alive, that for me is a thrill. And I think, yeah, what keeps me going is I want to leave a legacy that my great grandkids, inshallah, continue to be proud of and aspire to continue carrying on.
great. Yes, Miss Chu, please tell me your motivation factor every day.
First of all, that's so inspiring, Shaima. I really I
Thank
love
you.
that. I think
Thank you.
yes, and From my side, I think what motivates me is sort of similar, but it's yeah, empowering others, empowering people. I think giving my own journey into tech, I have received so much help from different people, friends, and others like who helped me through like with at that time with so much unknowns. Am I ever gonna make this? And starting like a whole new industry.
Yeah,
I think personally, I have been through quite some up and downs in my career and received so much help from others. So when the COVID started, I heard there are people get laid off and there are like people lose their jobs. So I really wanted to see if there's anything I can help. And so I started, there's like a initiative called UX Coffee Hours, basically a volunteer effort started by a Googler to just offer coffee chat with people who need help. And since then, I started getting more into that. I started my first YouTube channel when the pandemic started because I wanted to share more, like what I was struggling and how to get into the tech industry as a designer. So I started like sharing more on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out. It's called YOBI321. I just basically share anything about UX or how to get into tech. Just hoping to share some inspirations with learnings to hopefully have more people like get into the industry and rather than feel like it's a mystery and there's no clear path to get in. So I think that's one thing keep me really motivated every day is be able to empower each other.
that's really great. Great to listen, both of you. Really impressive. Hopefully, it will be helpful for other. It will motivate other as well. My motivation every day that I'm not free. I'm doing something, even a single bit. I'm doing something, and the motivation factor is I'm presenting it to the kids. See, I am not free. If I have done nothing, it's mean I have tried. So that motivates me because I'm passing to my kids. So whatever is at the end, the benefit is it is conveyed some lesson to the kids as well. You are not free, you are not idle, you don't get something in at the end of the day, but this is your try, which may help you for the next day as well. So that's again the motivation at my end. Yes, last but not the least, I would like that few words which could engrave our community, our feminine group, that to excel their career in the technology. We really want few words from you both. That how what words you want to pass on our young community, young girls, the women, so that they can excel their career, progress their career. They shouldn't stop. So it's sort of a great advice from your side to them. Yes, Miss Shaima, if you want to give any advice to these ladies, they
I'm
shouldn't
gonna
stop.
steal Shu's advice that she
Yeah,
received and pass
yeah,
it forward.
yeah.
This could be a multiplier, but
Yes, hopefully,
yeah.
yeah.
But I also want to say, be curious. Strive to be the best. Don't, settle for mediocrity. There is
Yeah,
just so much that's accessible, whether through the network, in person, to find a mentor, a coach, somebody who inspires you. Surround yourself by the people that you want to be like. There's a saying that you're the average of the five closest people to you. So look at the five closest people to you and decide maybe if it's
yeah,
time to change something or do something different. I think the pandemic has taught us all so many lessons on family, on love, on compassion, on not wasting your time. And like, look at the
yes,
past 2 years and with the lockdown, with the pandemic and everything that's been going on, what have you achieved? I know people that learned languages or they've created applications, they started businesses from home because, I mean, as you mentioned earlier, women now can pursue their careers in IT even as a mother or
Yeah.
as some of them are even single moms, or even as families who are, they're responsible for their husband, their kids, and even
Yeah.
their in-laws, but they still manage to kind of pursue their passion in creating something in the digital world.
Great.
Be curious, learn about what's happening in the new world, like the metaverse, and
Yeah.
if you're interested in blockchain, if you're interested in AI, machine learning, data science, there are just so many things that are going now. Uh, and it's increasing in such a way where even public sector and private sector, they're looking for these type of skill sets.
Yes.
Whether you choose to do your own thing or even join an organization, there is so much value to add, and it's so much easier to learn those new skills. So
Exactly.
follow your dreams, and ask for help. Find the right people that are within your community or even online, and go for it. Have fun, as long as you have fun,
Exactly.
and be a
Yes.
multiplier.
Yeah. Yes, Miss Pooh. Please share your advice for our young community, for the female community, so that they can be in progress with the tech world.
Yeah, I feel like we have so many shared
Yeah.
values. So
Yeah.
um, I
It's really
think, yeah,
beneficial.
can't agree more with everything Shaymaa has shared. I think if there's one thing I can add on to is maybe focus on the essentials, focus on the most meaningful things in your life. I think
Definitely.
at some point, as a woman, you probably have to learn how to say no when you need to. As a mom, and also when I joined Google as a noogler, the pandemic started, so I had remote onboarding and a little went home. So I had struggles with burnout in my past job, which makes
Yeah.
both work and life miserable. So I think about what you care the most about. Seek for help, support when you need it, and put
Yeah.
your energies towards the things that you care the most and ultimately bring you the greatest rewards. Another book recommendation is called Essentialism. I think it's a great book with a lot of insights. It's called Essentialism: The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown. Yeah, I got recommended from a friend of that book. I feel like it changed my life, the way how you think, like rather than your everyday driven by what's urgent or what others need, actually be able to focus on what matters. So that's my advice. Yeah.
That's really great. It's really great to hear with the two beautiful personalities like you. We get too much, a lot pluses from your side. That's why the days like this, the conferences like this are really important because these days allow us to honor the achievement of people like you who gain success in your career, who are motivation for our community, who really encourage other young community to pursue their career in STEM fields. And by attending such conferences, actually you are contributing to the common goal. This is the shared goal for all of us to promote the tech in the women, to progress the continuity in the women, to encourage them to work and move forward without any hurdle. All these challenges will be the opportunity in future, no doubt. At the end, as it's a Mother's Day as well today here, so I wish the community, I wish the two beautiful ladies in front of me and our attendants a happy Mother's Day. That is for you both. Yes, if you can get this, this is the message for you for now, for today. On this beautiful day, we try to spread the shared goal to many ladies. So that would be the best gift ever for whole women community, no doubt. So I wish that this will be most fruitful conference today. Thank you for joining us, Shu and Shaima. It's really a great session. It's really a beneficial session. Hopefully, it will help our community and encourage the young team, inshallah. Uh, great evening, good time with you, and all the best for your future and years, of course. Thank you very much, Shu and Shaymaa, once again from the GDD community. I really thank you all.
Thank
Uh,
you so much, Saqiba and Shu. It was a great pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for having us and setting this up, Dr. Zainab. I really hope it adds a lot of value to all the women and the young
yes, no doubt.
girls
Yes,
in their bright futures ahead of them, inshallah.
Inshallah,
yes, such
inshallah.
a pleasure chatting with both of you, and thank you, Sakiba, making this event possible. So, really enjoyed it.
Thank you
Thank you
once
all.
again.
Thank you all for being here. I will have one question of it from Sheikha, our attendee. So let's see our perspectives. And I was trying to get your attention, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I jumped in. So she's asking, how do you stay committed when you're learning new technology? It could be to keep going, to progress, to advance, or whatever it means to you. We can start with Shu.
Sorry, would you mind repeat the question again? Just want to
How
make
do
sure
you
I understand.
how do you stay committed when you're learning new tech?
How do you stay committed? Is this talking about a specific tech or basically just any new technologies, I guess?
We'll ask Sheikha to elaborate. Sheikha, can you add on to that in the chat? Any new tech is what she wrote. Um,
You want me to jump in? Maybe I
sure,
can.
sure. I'm gonna stop the recording
I don't know.
now.
I